Thank you for joining Sports Development Series. We yours truly, Boma Ekiyor.
Our Sportdev series is sponsored by Arewa Baobab Fruit Powder, one of the most nutritious substances on the planet. Get your Baobab Fruit Powder from arewabaobab.com. I think, the thing about athletes post-career, playing career, I think it's interesting because unless an athlete happens to have someone who understands that world and can educate them, which is what you guys do, they don't know. Because you have to realize, like you said, a player goes through West Ham Academy, right? He happens to be extremely talented. In soccer and football, they get signed as soon as they turn 18, right? So you have an 18-year-old now making £20,000 a week. He's probably still living in his mom's house. He doesn't, you see what I'm saying? And if his parents or his parent doesn't know, there you have that problem, which is why, like, I was so impressed with Marcus Rashford, right? And I'm sure you're familiar with what he did.
Exactly.
I thought that was just amazing. He didn't have to.
And I think you mentioned a good point. It's not just the player education. We're kind of going to start branching out to like family and friends education as well, the circle around them, and like we had a brief discussion. It's about the sports ecosystem around the athlete. So it's not just the athlete, it's not just the agent. We're looking at the whole ecosystem around them and helping their family and friends, their parents, the people who have some sort of influence with them as well. So that's really important to educate the whole circle around them as well. So that's really important. And again, going back to the US, you guys have that whole, US, North America, you guys have that whole NCAA sports and education, whereas here it's either sports or education. It's not structured in a way that they are educated from the beginning and they basically have to pick one or the other.
Really? So if a player goes to an academy, right? And I know about academies, like I mentioned, we work with, my nonprofit works with some Danish clubs. So I know how it works there. And they're heavy into education.
Right.
In like Denmark. So in England, if you're going to, I don't know, Arsenal Academy, I know there's a lot of pressure on you to be successful and you're working hard and all that as a teenager. But then that particular kid is also still going to school, right?
So, unlike the North American where you've got the NCAA and you've got the whole structure in place, and without a certain points, is that correct? Like certain points, you don't get your
if you don't meet a certain GPA, you might not play.
Correct. Whereas here, they're a bit flexible, let's just say. I will use the word flexible, meaning they do a bit of GCSE, they get to a GCSE, which is high school, and then their whole focus is football. And I don't know if you know, but 90% actually don't make it in the UK, in the like in football in general. So that's just football. 90% don't make it, and then that whole 90%, that whole young people don't have anything to fall back on. So our youth development agency, our non-profit as well, helps those young people who don't make it. So those academy players who get up to 18, they've been in the team since under 9, all their life has been within their club. Football, unfortunately, after a certain point, they have nothing to fall back on. And that's what we do on our not-for-profit sides. We help them and support them.